Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Brownstone. I'm Paulette, owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses, you guessed it, brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and of course, Brownstone Living Magazine. You can always head over to brownstoneworldwide.com and get all of the news, all of the information that you can use, and then some. Of course, you guessed it, daily deals and coupons is also available today. We're going to be dropping some more sales that you can grab from Easter, Mother's Day, all the things that are coming up. So happy that you guys could join us today for another edition of The Day Shift. Good morning. Y'all, I'm so sorry if you are not a part of our TikTok team. The neighbors on TikTok always get the tea that you guys miss, and we're so sorry. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get into some news and information really quick, because we're going to go down the rabbit hole. We're going to be talking about some things that are important to us, and we're also going to be talking about how what's happening in the US of A right now really is a concern for all American citizens and then some. Y'all, I just wanted a little bit of the sunshine, the backdrop, right? Hey, thank you so much for that, Phyllis. Thank you for the share. Couple things. One, news and information is giving us, whoever just sent me the email about Hotel Planner, I just got it. Thank you. If you're interested, email me directly at Paulette at Paulette at brownstoneworldwide.com, brownstoneworldwide.com, Paulette. All right, so a couple things that we need to talk about today that are super important so that you can go about your day is number one, Senator Van Hollen did get an opportunity to meet directly with Kilmar Abrego Garcia yesterday. That's a place for some applause, but not so fast. Okay. The biggest thing that's happening right now, once I went down the rabbit hole yesterday and this morning, I'm finding out that the president of El Salvador is kind of a little worried that what he's built is getting a bad rap. Okay. So he is alive. They actually have pictures of him. Oh, honey, they put him in a nice little baseball cap. It wasn't his. I don't think it was a Chicago Bulls cap, but he had on a nice shirt, jeans, new shoes, and they had him sit down they gave him a day pass to go and sit down with the senator to let them know that he's okay, he's alive, because they wanted proof of life. And remember, the Trump administration said, we ain't giving you nothing, we don't care, da da da. Then the vice president of El Salvador said to the senator, the Trump administration is paying us to keep these folks and paying us to keep him. And I thought, that's why I said what I did yesterday when we were live together. I said, how y'all feel? No, it was the day before. I said, how y'all feel about y'all tax dollars going to pay to keep these people in these camps? Hey, good Karen. Good morning. That's a hilarious name. I love it. Good Karen. Think about that. Where your money going? And you have no say in all of the shenanigans and all of the circuses of that. Crazy. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, all right. So we do know that he is alive. Now the next thing is getting him home. They should have to ask first. Yeah. You do. Karen says she got to do what she can do. That's hilarious. Thanks so much for that, Maureen. So yes, we know for a fact that this man is alive. And here's the thing. I had no idea that President Bukele of El Salvador was that concerned about his image, because they really cleaned him up, made him look really good, and had him to sit down with Senator Holland yesterday. There are pictures. It's actually on brownstoneworldwide.com. You can go ahead and check it out if you are so inclined to do so. You can check it out there. They did reach out to his wife. She didn't get an opportunity to talk directly with him, but there is proof of life. Okay. That's, nothing would get done, but that's your tax, right? That's our tax dollars. And that's a concern for me. Okay. Some people have already said they done went into the their employer's office, HR, and changed all of their tax. Now, you're going to have to pay for that. And just letting you know. Okay. Heads up on that. All right. So wanted to definitely talk about that. Here's something else that is a concern for you. And that is they apprehended a young man yesterday, and social media went berserk. Okay. As well, they should have. A couple other things that you all need to know. He is not the only one that they've done that to. There is another one. ICE refuses to release U.S. citizen detained despite showing birth certificate. Okay. But this one was from yesterday. Leon County Jail picked up a U.S. born citizen. And I believe, what was his name again, y'all? His last name was Gomez. All right. And his mother actually went to the jail and provided proof of citizenship. He was born in Georgia. She brought his birth certificate and his social security number. And said, here's his documents. So at the end of the day, the judge said, okay, well, ain't nothing I could do. He's being detained by ICE. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Now he provided the proper documentation, and CJ said it better than I could. Homegrown. So now you've proven your citizenship. But here's the thing. So what does it look like to be an illegal alien? Can we talk about that just for a minute? What does that say to us? He was born here. Now, I will also say this. If this had not gotten out, do y'all know where that baby would probably be? If I can prove, no way. Who is in control of ICE? Exactly. Who is in control of ICE? We already know that smirk face. What's his name? They call him the border czar. And boy, I feel like I'm in a soap opera because he looks like exactly what he says he's going to be doing. Okay. It's too much. All right. So, just wanted to kind of share that with you guys and let you know that is some stuff that is happening. Senator meets with Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. That's number one. It's like a bad TV show, Angie T. It really, really is. Now, the other thing that is in the news, Pentagon official resigns as Hegseth's team is wiped out amid the probe. And I guess y'all heard about this, right? Top Pentagon spokesman John Uliat, I hope I said his name right, is set to become the latest high-profile Department of Defense staffer to leave weeks after he was involved in a controversy over baseball hero Jackie Robinson. Defense has suffered a few big-name departures this week, largely as part of an investigation into leaks following the Signal group chat fiasco. You remember that? Hegseth was a part of that, but he cutting folks from his team instead of getting cut himself. Help me understand that. You were part of the issue. Okay. He attempted to defend the Pentagon after a Department of Defense website deleted a page describing baseball and civil rights icon Jackie Robinson's military service. He announced his resignation Wednesday, claiming his time at the Pentagon was never meant to be permanent. Gotta have a fall guy. And there have been several people that are falling on, are being impaled. Let's put it that way. They're falling on the sword, basically. And I don't think that we've seen the last of it. I think that we're going to see more and more of this as we move forward with this current administration. And it's unfortunate, but you got to blame somebody, right? You got to blame somebody. So let's talk about Florida State University and what happened with that, okay? In the news, Florida State University is in the news. We found out exactly who the student was that did the shooting. And let's see. This is really sad. Shooting kills 2 and wounds 5. 2 men who were not students were unalived, and 5 other people were wounded in a shooting in at Florida State University in Tallahassee. Yes, he was. Karen, according to what information, I saw the interview from a young man that had him in a group with him. And they said he said he was really kind of over the top. So they had to put him out of the group. And it was like, you know how you have like those chats and everybody's sharing information and ideas and so forth. And they said that he was off the chain, and it worried them. It scared them a little bit. So they removed him from the, So it says here he was kicked out of a political club because his comments went beyond conservatism. Okay. And so he was a Florida State, Ray Siebold, a Florida State University student, actually told CNN he knew suspected gunman Phoenix Eichner, whom he encountered in an extracurricular political club a few years ago. He said Eichner was asked to leave the group, which discussed current events due to behavior that unsettled others. They were concerned. He had continually made enough people uncomfortable where certain people stopped coming. That's kind of when we reached the breaking point with him, and we asked him to leave. He said, I can't give exact quotes. It's been a couple of years now, but he was talking about the ravages of multiculturalism and communism and how it's ruining America. If someone worries you to that point, you report them as a possible danger to others. Yeah, you know, it's funny because it's so hard, CJ. Do you take that and run with it? Or do you just say, okay, you just become my news story? Girl, I try, Kathy. I try. So yeah, do you, in those tense moments, Siebold and his classmates sought comfort in one another? So my daughter was telling me that they were slow to remove people from the campus. And they said that they were, were told to come out like this and walk slowly. And I'm assuming that's so that they can make sure you didn't have anything in your hands or whatever, and to remain nearby. But she was like, I'm gonna go over here to my homegirl's apartment, and then we going out for ice cream. I thought, are y'all for real? She was like, yes. And you could tell she was really, really nervous. Somebody just creeps you out that bad, you can't call the police. It's hard to. So you can't, because I think when it's happening, it's almost like when somebody like assaults your personal space, right? Like in a hot flash, even though you know you have to protect yourself, you're nervous and you're shook for a hot second. Like, did that just happen? Like, you honestly don't have any idea how you ended up in this space. And you're confused for, like, you're discombobulated. So the first thing is your flight to get safe. And I think that's probably what happened here. Now, that's different, I think, as a parent, because I'm gonna walk in on your room. I'm gonna see what you got going on. You know, Black parents, we notorious for that. I don't know about nobody else, but I know in my house, I open up doors and I look to see, is the floor clean? My son looks at me and he's like, Mother, what do you want? Yep. It doesn't compute. It doesn't. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes people may not say violent things. You know what I mean? Angie, you know it's true. I do it all the time. I walk in the room. You know, now that I have adults, it's a little bit different, right? So I don't do that with, you know, those who grown. But if you fresh in adulthood, I'm looking. I need to know what's going on in them closets, all the things. That's how come I couldn't understand this whole thing about you. We didn't know. What you mean you didn't know? You everything sharpens. And see, here's the thing. Everybody handles things differently. Because I know for me, I have in the past. Like, I didn't see the signs until after. And sometimes it took a year for me to be like, damn. All I wanted to do was get to safety. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, in this situation, it's a little bit different because they probably just didn't know. And when you're talking about students, I know when I was in college and knowing that I've had college students, we always assume the best in people. Yeah, I think that part is true. And we think that everybody is like us. You know what I mean? We think everybody's good. Everybody has our best interest at heart. And we're not concerned that people are out here trying to do us harm. You know what I'm saying? And then we don't know who really gonna snap and who's not. Does that mean that we need to be concerned all the time? I would say we just need to, you know, kind of watch our back and wear crossbody bags. you know, and that's a hard one to call. But it's Florida. Red flag laws, but it's Florida. Exactly. So it's a little bit different. So there we go on that. We got to talk about Meta, y'all. We have to talk about Meta. I think it's important because of everything that is happening right now with TikTok. You do. So, you know, Meta is being sued by, I think it's the FTC. There's an antitrust lawsuit that's going on right now. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but you know, now they're singing like canaries. Okay. During a testimony yesterday in the FTC's antitrust suit against Meta, former chief operating officer Sheryl Sandberg said that the company actually bolstered and scaled Instagram after acquiring the app, noting that TikTok posed a threat to its advertising revenue. Dun, 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 dun. Huh. Y'all hear them crickets? Hey, Wanda. So if you all knew that TikTok was posing a threat to your advertising revenue, would you? Yes, I do. Where? You know what? You show right. Hold on, Carol Sue. Yes. Let me get my violin ready. You ready? Hold on. Pause. We had to play that for Mark Zuckerberg, right? We got to do it. I'm just saying that part, CJ. You know, Karen, I got this from Marshall's. It was $6.99. Now, I don't know if it's still there, but I got this a couple months ago. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, and it comes with this its own little base, and it has a bow as well. Okay. But yeah, yes, it is. Okay. You need one. Listen, let me find out where to get them. So yes, when we talk about Zuckerberg and what is happening right now, you ever heard your mama say, when you dig one ditch, you better get ready to dig two? If you digging one for me, go ahead and dig one for yourself too. Because don't you ever think that what you tried to do to put me under the ground is not going to impact you either. And that's what's happening. So now you back in front of the government. Okay. So by 2020, TikTok was seen as potentially siphoning $3 billion to $6 billion in ad revenue from Meta. So instead of strategizing and pivoting, which is what you do in business, what do? You go to the government and you grease some palms and you make up stuff that says they're taking our information. Does that even make sense? Think about that, y'all. So you were losing money. And so instead of doing what businesses have done since the beginning of time and competition, you decided to go and get some people to help you bark up this tree and bring them down. All while, wait, you were over there anyway, and your own people told it, giving our information to them. I'm just saying, of course we have to blame China. And sometimes it's your own folks. I'm just saying. So anyway, meanwhile, Zuckerberg revealed that certain kinds of ads on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Messenger now earn Meta $10 billion a year. The call came from inside the house. But see, we knew that. We knew that back then that that's what was going on. How many of us started on Facebook when Facebook first started and remained there and watched other apps come up, right? I tell people often, I didn't start on TikTok. I started on Bigo, B-I-G-O. Amazing platform. Very, very similar to TikTok. I had a TikTok account. I didn't like it. I was like, I don't know. And then Bigo, I don't know what made me change over, but they believe it was China. It wasn't. They need to go on somewhere. They need to go on somewhere because it's right here. And this isn't the only thing. So this is their chief operating officer, Sheryl Sandberg, that's telling this information about how, quote unquote, TikTok was siphoning these billions of dollars in ad revenue. No, advertisers, businesses who want our dollars are going to go where the eyeballs are. So figure out a way to get the eyeballs back over there. They need to go to the timeout box. No, they just need to get out the box. That's what they need to do. Because now all of this, and I read an article yesterday where it said that they're still being impacted. Meta still hasn't picked back up. So you did all of that and you still impacted. God don't like ugly. And like they say, he sure ain't crazy about pretty either. Okay. Improve your platform. You left everything. You left everything Meta. You did. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not, because that's how I keep in touch with my family. But then also, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It's some people over there that don't have any idea what's happening in the world. And when I share news and information, just like I do here, oh my goodness, they let me have it. But I still want people to know. It's people that will never come over to TikTok. They're never going to fan base. They're never going to YouTube. They're going to stay right there in Facebook land and Meta land. They're going to always do that. Yeah. But there you go. I just thought I would share that. And then Google, let's talk about that. They are a mess too. They are really, and they're nasty and they're mean. And some of them are bots. You can tell which ones are now. Now that I've been kind of reading it now, I have to have Metaphor Group I manage for Quilts and Valor. Oh, Quilts of Valor. Okay, I'm about to check that out. Federal judge ruled that Google runs and works to maintain a monopoly in 2 advertising tech markets. It's the tech giant's 3rd antitrust loss following an August ruling about its online search dominance and a December 2023 App Store decision. The latest ruling is largely a victory for the Justice Department and states that filed suit, though the judge ruled Google did not have a monopoly in a 3rd ad tech market. What is this about? This is about their AdSense. This is about, you know how sometimes when you, and AdSense is everywhere, y'all. Have y'all seen it? No matter where you go, you can literally see the ads that can pop up. Now, as a company that uses AdSense, it's very beneficial for the company. We can control how much you see or how much you don't see. It provides us the opportunity to use their code within our system on things that we utilize so that we can monetize the platform further. The issue is y'all shouldn't be the only one in the game. That is why, Carol Sue. That's exactly why. So Carol Sue, for those of you all who are on the other platform, said that is why Zuckerberg connected with Trump and Musk. That is why. He's trying to keep his money. Same thing with Bezos. They're trying to keep their money. But what do we say often here when we go live? We always say that in these instances, what we are experiencing has to happen for us to see change. Change doesn't always feel good. And there are some people that would really like for us to live in hovels and in caves. But what they don't realize is we're not as dumb as they think we are. And we will find a way. A perfect example is what happened with China. Remember that? He said, and I forgot his name or what his role is, but I watched the video. He said, we do not care. Not only did he say we do not care, he said China has been around for 5,000 years. We will be here. We ain't going nowhere. So go ahead with your tariffs, 145%. So when we're talking about that, we also have to realize that not only did China say, okay, well, we're not dealing with you. 1,006 days left in this administration. Hold up. Let's go find out. Where are we going? Project 2025.observer. Let's head over there. 1,373 days, 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 59 seconds. Time until the end of the term. Yeah. Yep. And remember, yesterday we went over the things that are completed according to Project 2025. If you want to see that yourself and keep up with it, go to project2025.observer. And you'll see how close all of these things are. Yeah, 59 seconds. Hold up. It's 26 now. They're totally convinced. Here's what I see. What I see is, from me personally, is an individual who ultimately, and I have said it before, I saw it the night of that first State of the Union. I said, oh, something's wrong. He don't look well. You know how old folks, I guess I'm one of the old folks now. Old folks will say, he's sick. If we can see it in you, go look again. Go look again as opposed to the first term. I think that there will be. Yep, I believe so. There's something awry. And I can't quite put, but I'm putting money on it. while you telling people you 6'3" and 220 pounds. Just thought I'd put that out there too, because y'all saw it. Y'all saw it too. You saw it. You saw it. All right. So when we're talking about the overall progress, there are 305 total Project 2025 I guess you could say statuses that they're looking to go through. 98 of the 305 in Project 2025 are complete. There are 61 that are in progress right now. Me too, CJ. Yep. I'm with Karen on that one. Hey, Simple Grower. Good to see you. So in all of this, we talked yesterday really quick, and then we're going to start talking about the Fifth Amendment. They got rid of restrict the low-income heat and energy assistance program, which helps people to increase the amount of food stamps that they get. Y'all, we could go down the rabbit hole. For those of you all who are new here, we have learned so much about our farmers and about women, infants, and children. Oh yeah, CJ, girl, you're ready. Let's talk about it real quick. All right, restrict. One of the things that was completed by Project 2025 was to get rid of the low-income heat and energy assistance program, which basically says that according to how much money that you're paying for your energy to heat your home, if you apply for food stamps, and it's based upon a dollar amount. So say, for instance, we're going to give you an extra $60, $65 in food stamps if your heating bill is over a certain dollar amount. They got rid of the program and fired the entire staff. Okay? Fired the entire staff. So now the program no longer exists. And that is actually one of the things that they wanted to do with the Department of Agriculture. It is on page 301 of the full Project 2025 document. So now we just let the poor freeze. I'm saying. All right. Y'all want a funny before we start talking about the Fifth Amendment? I need to share with y'all this one because this one was absolutely hilarious. What is the name? Okay, so there's a temp agency on Facebook that wants people to, what's the name of it? Please tell me I didn't forget. It's absolutely hilarious. So there's a temp agency on Facebook that is looking for people to come and work in the fields and pick berries and other fruits and vegetables. The job requires you to work 7 days a week, and it's paying $11 an hour. And they have 2 different shifts. Baby, when I tell you the comments are commenting, did you see that? So of course I went over there. Whoo, wait a minute. I took a beeline. I took a first class flight to the comments. I just looked at the picture and I said, this is really happening. They are really asking people to come out here and work in these fields for $11 an hour. The company is called AM/PM Staffing Services. Yes. So guess what I'm going to do? We're going to read some of the comments because we need a little laugh real quick. AM/PM Staffing Services. I don't know why they haven't taken it down, but they haven't. They're a recruiter, 50 years in the business and counting. Where are they located? For them in Luling, Louisiana. We're hiring farm pickers to pick blueberries at our client's farm in Loringer, Louisiana. $11 per hour. 9 to 10 hours a day. 7 days a week from May through July 2025. There are the wellness farms. Exactly. That's the reason why. When I tell you I couldn't wait 24/7, basically, Karen. Listen, when I tell you, okay, so let's go Someone said, and this is a friend of mine. I can't believe she's over here. So, oh, these must be the black jobs that were being stolen by immigrants. Someone like my comment, so I can laugh at this again. Having a laugh with you from Australia. Yes, this ad has popped up on Aussie sarcastic site. I doubt it's the only one picked up on it. Has anyone run this number to inquire about the jobs? You know, to verify it's not satire. Okay, so let's see. Only if I get to say I'm tired of this, Grandpa, and someone responds, well, that's too damn bad every time I say it. I hear maggots like blueberries. The comment section I didn't know I needed in my life. I'm telling you, I took a first class flight. I couldn't wait. I looked and I said, oh, they're really doing this. I don't see a single Trump supporter in the field working. If I see a white man in the field, he's on the tractor watching everybody else. Somebody said, are we great yet? Somebody said, y'all better ask ChatGPT how to pick these berries. Someone said, but no one wants to work anymore. Let me guess who the farm owners voted for. Somebody else said, you're kidding, right? People in my county pay the equivalent of $13 an hour for corn detasseling, and they are also not bold enough to ask the detasselers to work 92 consecutive 10-hour days. Just so y'all know, they think this is premium wage. We knew it was coming, but wait, there's more. This goes on and on and on. 20,000 comments. 20,000 comments. But this is what y'all asked for, right? And let me also put this in perspective, shall we? There are people who may want to do this as like summer work or whatever. But first of all, have you all seen some of these people who are live in the fields right now on TikTok? They go live and they show you how backbreaking this, right, is what they voted for. Just come on already. Hey, Kay, how are you? Yes. That's the kind of hours I work during tax season at a desk in the heat and air. Yes. Now imagine being out in the field. Imagine being out in the field that long. And I'm first of all, it's grueling, it's backbreaking. And I have heard stories of people that I know who are a little bit older than me who made a decision that they were not going to continue to live in the country because they were still doing backbreaking cotton picking work, literally. And they moved to the cities to stop doing that. And then before that, you knew we were working for free. They didn't even pay you. They just said, to hell with you. And this is what you're going to do. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. You better go apply. Cheers. You better go apply. So unfortunately, the hard part is they will stay on the bushes this year. Absolutely, Kathy. But y'all know what that means? Think about what that means. What does that mean? Crops are going to rot. If the crops rot, they won't make it to the stores. And guess what we're going to start seeing, if you haven't already? Empty shelves. Now, that is something that we talk about often here, is how this is starting to trickle down to impact us as consumers in our neighborhoods. And if you do have them, like Kathy just said, the prices will be extremely high. Prices will be extremely high. Yep. So everything that we've been talking about, let's put this in perspective. Everything that we've been talking about, what do we say here? For those of you all who are not new here, we say this often: shop local, find you a farmer or two, go to your farmer's market. I'm in my part of the country, it's tomatoes, Granger County tomatoes, big deal here. Hispanics pick those, yes. Y'all already know what happened to mine. I'm getting ready to replant again. I put them outside too early. That's okay. We're going to plant some more. We'll plant more. Start a garden. You're going to need it. I have a friend with a blueberry farm. I would be getting mine from there and picking my own. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Shop local. We talk about that often. Shop local. The other thing is what? You got to start with your seeds. Go to your local library. Get your seeds from there. But they're really like, you can get, if you get food stamps, you can purchase your seeds with your food stamps. You put vegetables there, DD? Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the things that we have to do, because it's not so much about it's not available. It ain't going to be available, and it's already starting. Farmers have already said that some of their crops are rotting because they don't have enough people out there. Number one, if there are people still here, legal or not, they're not going out in the fields because ICE is out there looking for them. Yes, CJ says community resource centers, county extension offices. Start your seeds now if you haven't already. I just checked on mine. I have some cabbages out in the back, and I have pinto beans that are growing. And I started cilantro. Was it cilantro? I don't know. What was it? It was something. And then I have like onions that are growing on my counter. And I just cut those as I need them. And the lettuce is growing in the back as well. I'll be planting watermelon and some other stuff as well. And kind of just and we started a compost bin. I checked on it the other day. I bought 2 packages of worms and just kind of put them in there from the bait shop. Kutta, she's not in today, but Kutta, I act like we clocked in. Kutta actually go check out your bait shop, see if they got whatever. And I did, and the worms were there. And when I tell you, I looked at it the other day, and I thought, oh. So I just go in there and I just flip it every once in a while, right? And do what I have to do. Okay. Hey, Robbie, how are you? Come on in. Come on in. If you are new here, we are just having a conversation about news and information that we can use. Some stuff that may not reach the main news because we're so inundated with everything that is happening with this administration. All of your things are on the inside. Can't put anything out until mid-May. Oh, that's right, because you're in Iowa. Yeah. That's right, Carol Sue. Yeah, you want to be careful of that, because I left mine out. I put mine out too early, and some of the bean stalks actually are no longer there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Department of Homeland Security create a single nationwide detention standard that includes the flexibility to use large numbers of temporary facilities as tents. Wait a minute, what? This is on project2025.observer. Y'all, on page 140 of Project 2025. So if y'all want to go ahead and check it out, I just gave you the information. Hold on, let's take a look at this. The privately held company Deployed Resources has made billions running tent detention facilities to hold immigrants entering the U.S. at the border. Now it is cashing in again on Trump's plan to hold immigrants before deportation. Are you all aware of that? You said you despise that document. There's tons of stuff you can start from the last. Yeah. So lettuce, celery, carrots, potatoes, all of that. Let's see here. So they want to start these tents and hold them there. But y'all already knew this was coming, because this man has been having conversations in Mar-a-Lago well before he was inaugurated. And some of those recordings got out about how some of these corporate prisons systems are excited because they're getting ready to make more money than they've ever made before because of the homegrowns. That's another conversation for another day. Let's dig into it. Let's talk, because I'm about to get started and we still haven't talked about the Fifth Amendment. We still haven't talked about the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. Let's talk about it briefly. Okay. Fifth Amendment briefly says, no person shall. Exactly, CJ. See, that's where this is already headed, and we know that. Okay. And I don't think people truly understand what that means. But we could go further, and we could talk about the 13th Amendment, we could talk about the 14th Amendment and the 15th, if we really want to dig deeper and talk about that. But that was designed specifically for Black folks. Welcome back, Kimberly. All right, so no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Why is that important today? Because when you are not given just cause for why you are being picked up, arrested, or in these instances, detained, it is kidnapping, folks. It didn't say no American citizen. The document says person. Period. Point blank, like CJ says. The Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects individuals from several forms of government actions. It guarantees protection against self-incrimination, double jeopardy, and the taking of private property without just compensation. So you ever had somebody come to you and say, we want your house because we're going to build da-da-da-da-da, and we're going to cut you a check for XYZ? They have to do that because they can't just come and take it. They try, and they try to hire lawyers to do whatever. But the Constitution says that that's unconstitutional. Let's break that down. Protection against self-incrimination. This part of the Fifth Amendment, also known as the right to remain silent, prevents the government from forcing someone to testify against themselves in a criminal case. You ever heard of the Miranda Act? If you fail to Mirandize someone, you got to cut them loose because you violated their Fifth Amendment right. Okay? It prevents the government from forcing someone to testify against themselves in a criminal case. This means a person can refuse to answer questions that might incriminate themselves. I plead the Fifth. Okay? 2, protection against double jeopardy. The Fifth Amendment also prevents a person from being tried twice for the same crime after they have been acquitted or convicted. This principle ensures that a person isn't repeatedly punished for the same offense. Remember, if they come asking, shut your mouth, attorney first, period. And lastly, let's talk about number 3. Not lastly, but number 3, due process. The Fifth Amendment mandates that the federal government must provide due process of law before it can deprive someone, let me say it again, someone, not American-born citizens, someone of life, liberty, or property. This means the government must follow fair procedures and provide notice and an opportunity to be heard before taking such actions. And not once in all that I have been seeing online, is DHS or ICE following this portion of the Fifth Amendment? They just picking folks up. They breaking glass. They're busting windows out. All kinds of things. They're picking up people and saying, take them anyway, under cover of mask. They are beyond unconstitutional, and it's anti-constitutional. Number 4, protection against takings without just compensation. The Fifth Amendment prohibits the government from taking private property for public use without paying fair compensation to the owner. This ensures that individuals are not unfairly burdened by government actions that seize their property. So in essence, the Fifth Amendment protects individuals from being compelled to incriminate themselves in a criminal case. You've heard people say on your favorite television shows, I plead the Fifth. Now you know why. They don't want to incriminate themselves. If you didn't know, now you know. Being tried twice for the same crime. Being deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, which is the third one that we need to be concerned with what is happening to people who live in the US of A. It did not say that you had to be an American-born citizen. It said person, people, having their property taken for public use without just compensation. He's a big fan of pleading the Fifth. We should all be. I plead the Fifth. I want to talk to my attorney. So I wanted to make sure that we share this information today because it's really important for us to understand exactly why so many of us are livid about what is happening. Sometimes it's not as simple or as quote unquote black and white as some people think it is. We're talking about if they're able to do this to people that were not born here, who next? Honestly, human rights are human rights. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you believe. I say it again. Human rights are human rights. That's it. That is all. And of course, again, if you do not believe, now I'm sure on Meta, once I cut this up and share this, people will be like, oh, well, he's not an American citizen. It didn't say you had to be. It didn't say that at all. Hey, Miss Love Dancing, how are you? I'm so glad we had this conversation. And we all heard it, homegrown. I could not believe he said that. I was so out freaking done. So outdone. Honestly, I thought, oh my God, this man really said that. This cannot be life. Yes, it is. He said it and he meant it. He sure did. He sure did. Absolutely. So when we're talking about all of this information that we're sharing, just know that, again, everything that I'm talking about, you can go and reference yourself. I'm not making up any of this. I like to share news and information. It's what I do. Because I don't think anybody should be blindsided or oblivious to what is happening. You have a right to know why so many of us are on fire about what is happening. Seriously, we ain't even talked about what's happening overseas in Gaza. We ain't even got that far yet. We talking about what's happening right here. Because I get people that always say, well, you're always talking about, because honey, I would be sitting here all day. And we will have those opportunities to talk about it. But I also have to be clear and be careful in how I word things, because I'm learning that social media ain't so social. Oh, honey, it's the roof is gone. Like the song say, the roof is on fire. And some of us are saying, we don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. But if it burns, we're in the house. And so some of us have to be the firemen and firewomen, and we have to do everything that we can to douse water on it. What does that mean? Provide the knowledge and information and dispel. See, we have to learn how to dispel the lies that are out there. Everybody deserves due process. Everybody does. I don't care what you've done. You should follow the law of the land. This is how a lot of things get thrown out because due process. They didn't give that man due process or any of them. And when we think about walking down the street, minding your own business, living your life as someone who is, I'm doing what I can, but I do have a comfy chair to watch it all burn. Yes. When we're sitting here and we're talking about all of the things that could happen, I feel like I am responsible to provide you with as much, and what you do with it is your business, honestly. But you absolutely do need to know what is going on. Don't sit in it. Don't be like a lot of people that's on Meta, and they literally, I have been cussed out. I was cussed out this morning. Of course, now those I'm going to delete. You're not just going to cuss me out. You know what I mean? Even though I know it's not my platform or whatever, but you're still not going to do that. You're not going to do that. We're not doing that. And you also need to know what else is happening in the world, because everything is impacted by what's happening with the politics that's happening here and how it is impacting how China is making decisions on where they're going to do business. They've already said, we don't want your beef no more. So so what are the farmers going to do? Because the subsidies that they were told they were going to get got cut. So now what? And we found out what subsidies are. It's welfare. And WIC wasn't for women, infants, and children. And food stamps aren't for families that need it. It was to help the farmers, and is. Who, every time I think about that, I just Elvis has left the building, baby. Listen, he sure is. He sure did. He left the building. Michael Jackson too. Sure did. Yeah. And it's consistent. It's constant over and over and over. So today, what are we going to hear? What are we going to learn? What's happening right now in the world? You know what I mean? Like, how can we keep up with what's happening? I try. I sit in my car sometimes and just go through the news, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, you got to be kidding me. This really isn't happening. Oh, for real? Hold on. Let me get my other phone and let me go live real quick. Let me record something really quick. I'm literally getting to that point because you need to know. You need to know. So we've covered a lot today. Y'all learned some stuff. For those of you all who are on TikTok, y'all learned another way to make money today. Again, if you're interested in Hotel Planner, you can absolutely, hit me up and let me know, and send me the email. Yeah, Phyllis. We just talked about that and how they cut them a new one on Facebook. The name of the agency, I think it's In and Out. Was it, y'all? Hold on. I'm on the page right now. AMPM Staffing Services. AMPM. Oh, y'all open 7 days a week, 9 to 12-hour days, for $11 an hour. You want me to come and pick blueberries? Oh, okay. No. Absolutely not. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm So they're hiring for aluminum fitters, audio engineers for theater, bank tellers, 3 to 5 years experience. They have all of this stuff. But the thing is unfortunately, y'all just played yourself. Y'all just played yourself. Because first of all, $11 an hour for that has come to the point of just crying all the time. She's in her 70s. No. Don't tell her, don't cry. What do we say as a people? We are Voltron. Y'all remember Voltron? What did Voltron do? It was a group of people that got together to create one superhero. I say it often. Y'all should already know what I'm going to say if you come in here often. The power of the people and the power of collective consciousness can never be denied. We're Voltron. Because I know that when I go to somebody's live, talk to her, help her news detox. Yeah, help her news detox. She doesn't have to pay attention to the news all the time. That's how come I mix mine up. Y'all don't need to, like, I love Air Partners. I love Midas Touch. I love them. I love Under the Desk News. They give it to you straight, no chaser. But I'm gonna give you a little sugar with it. Like, I'm gonna give you some information about what's happening in Haiti. Yeah, so Haiti's having issues. Folks hungry, like my mother used to say. Folks hungry. Yeah. A couple million people are hungry in Haiti right now. And I hate to hear that. I keep telling her of the protests I'm involved in. She went to church yesterday, hope it helped. And it will help. We have to understand that each one of us has to, and I say this often as well, we have to understand that everything ain't for everybody, but also we can only help in the way that we know how to help. What do I mean by that? Let me rephrase that. We have to help in the way that we can. I think that's a better way of putting it. So y'all already know I'm not marching. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not marching because I know what that would mean. And then I saw, here's something else, y'all. One of the organizers of the march that's happening this weekend, he said they're having barbecues and entertainment. I know folks got to eat, but y'all having barbecues? Writing letters to 9 Supreme Justices. Yes, I'm going to share that information. I do have it. Yes, they having barbecues, y'all. And that's fine. Do you? I'm not marching. I'm not marching. You know where I'm going to resist? What I'm going to do to resist is I'm going to stay out of these big box retailers. I'm going to shop local. I'm going to use eBay. We talked about this before. I'm going to flea markets and I'm going to farmers markets to get my vegetables locally. I'm going to use local businesses. I'm a proponent of that anyway. Always have been. I live in a cute little town with the most adorable downtown area. I would be crazy to not shop local, and I'm a local small business myself. Find out what's in your area and support those local businesses. Because these people, 9 times out of 10, live in your area. Their kids go to school with your kids. They worship at the same worshiping facilities that you're at, whatever. You guys are probably a part of the chamber together, the chambers of commerce in your area. Support local. And do you see how even in the midst of what we see looks like to be chaos is divine order? You can believe what you want, but it's not going to stay this way. There will be a calm after the storm. We have to weather that. We need to get our little umbrellas and we need to stay in our little communities or whatever helps or works for us. And we need to be the collective consciousness. We need to be the Voltron. We need to be the people, period. That's it. That's it. And it's a lot. It can be a lot. I'm going to tell y'all, that day I had that wig on and I heard that man say, "Oh, homegrown," I took the wig off and leaned over. I couldn't believe it. I don't know why I was surprised. You do, Carol Sue? That's so sweet. Well, honey, I'm glad that you come and set a spell. Have a slice of virtual pie. Okay? Seriously. Yeah, that is why I say Substack or brownstoneworldwide.com. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you for saying that because we make sure, let me stop saying I because it's not just me. We make sure that we give you a myriad of different pieces of news and not just the same stuff over and over and over. Like it would be too much. It would be too much. If you want that, great. I can't live on that kind of drama. And just like it's Friday. So y'all, it's Friday. What are you doing? It's the weekend. It's the weekend somewhere. I might go to karaoke tonight. They're having karaoke at one of these bars downtown. Thank you for that, CJ. I try. Because there was a time nobody wanted to provide me with basic stuff. Like, are you kidding me? I just try to just make it easier. If I find, and it, like I said, when I found out about that WAP app, I said, oh, I can't wait to share that with the people. Because we still got to eat. We still got to pay bills. We still got to do the things that we have to do, right? I got a team to pay. I got 2 kids graduating from college. One graduating from college, one graduating from high school. Like, listen, it's a ton of stuff that I need to be taken care of. So why not share it with everybody? Why not? It's not hurting me. Go get your coins. I'm just saying. It's all about the collective because everybody here has shared something. In one way or another, we've all shared something. And we're constantly sharing a wealth of knowledge, whether it be the news, whether it be like y'all already know what, the CFPB and what it does. So watch your money in your bank account. That's what you do. Don't overdraft. Oh man, listen, the beauty of a consignment store. There's one here where I get a lot of my shirts and stuff from. Everything in there is $5 or less. So like if I have a client that wants, a specific type of look, I can go look and grab it really quick and put it on. Like this shirt, $5. And then as soon as I'm done here, I'll go ahead and cut that, edit it really quick, and move on with my day. Which is what we need to do because we are 14 minutes away from the top of the hour. So we talked about AM, PM staffing. We talked about, y'all, let's do your 6 list. What's your 6 list looking like today? So here's my 6 list from yesterday. It needs to go over here. So I did quite a bit yesterday. I am a part of our local Juneteenth committee here. And so I had to finish my presentation and send it over to the team. I did that yesterday. I'm good on that. I ran my reports like I was supposed to. I've reached out to the team for the next 2 months magazines. And so we're getting ready to start those. So I'm on the right path to continue to get some stuff done. I had to ship a box today to my parents. So I am shipping that box with invites because somehow the post office lost all of Lily's college graduation invites. They got KJ's. They didn't get my daughter's. I'm confused. All right. So let's see. What else do we have to do? Here's what you need to do. Grab your 6 list and back to the 5 a.m. club. 5 a.m. Yes. I'm usually up at 5:30. Now that doesn't mean I get up out the bed, but I'm usually up at 5:30. Reading the news, getting caught up on things really quick, and then I start my day, jump in the shower, do whatever I'm going to do. But here you go. Write down the 6 most important things that you have to do for the day. Okay? As you complete them, cross them off. Once you are done for the day, look and see what you didn't finish. And whatever you didn't finish, put it on tomorrow's list. See how easy that is? I have gotten so much done. Now, don't be like me. So here's what I do. I keep all of my lists because sometimes I might miss something. That's just me. And I say, oh, snap, I need to do. Oh, snap, I need to. I forgot that. And then it becomes a part of some extras if I have extra time in the day. What you will find is a lot of the things that you keep putting off, if you follow your list, will take you 3 to 5 minutes to complete. Oh, it's your time to get yourself right with the Lord. Amen. I like to do that in silence. I do have a prayer closet. And honey, when I tell you that little rug, I have a stool in there and a little rug and my little wall with all my stuff on it. Oh, it's sick of me. It's sick because I keep adding to it. Just keep adding. I need to go in there and check on it today, actually. But yeah, so I turn my closet into a little prayer closet / cloffice, and I go in there in the morning. Look at you with your altar. I love it. See, sometimes we have to maintain our peace. Carol Sue, that's what your friend needs to do. That's what we all need to do, whatever that means for you. Do you meditate? Do you do yoga? Do you work? Whatever you do, we need to protect our peace also in this time. So if that means releasing yourself from something that you know is not making you feel good and it's making you sick, like I did, and I told y'all about that yesterday, do that. Absolutely do that. Okay? So we've learned, what did we learn today? We learned about the Fifth Amendment. We learned about the Fifth Amendment today and why we should be on fire about how this is being handled. And then here's something else, y'all. What we have to do is also understand there has to be a better way to help people become American citizens easier. I understand that there are laws and there are rules in this country, but why does it have to be so hard and so expensive to become an American citizen? Why? I got questions. It shouldn't be. It should not be. That's why they come the way that they do, because they know it's difficult. It is expensive. I have a friend who happened to work in the same department as me in HR, and he could afford an attorney to help him, but it still took him 6 years. It took him 6 years. Nice young man. He was so excited when he got his papers and everything. His parents flew over from Africa and, were part of the ceremony. It was amazing. It was so nice. But why did it take him 6 years and over $100,000? But he could afford it. Everybody can. And while you're over here and you're working and you're trying to do everything that you can to raise the money to hire the attorney to start the paperwork, and then the paperwork gets stuck in all kinds of red tape, and then you got to start over again. Do you know how many people I know that live like that? And while you're doing that, guess what happens? Lives. You meet people, you build a life, you build a business, you start a job, you have a family, you meet somebody and fall in love, y'all get married. Do you see what I'm saying? And yet you still wait. See what I'm saying, Robbie? Robbie just says, still waiting for your sister-in-law 22 years. Instead of punishing people, find an easier way for them to become American citizens. It shouldn't be this hard. This is an easy fix. Don't put them out. You see the benefit in having people that are willing to work and paying taxes into a system they will never benefit from. Look at that. Had to go to Omaha to keep their status. Then to become so old now, she will never come. But we will never get your money back either. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And some of these immigration attorneys know better. But they're doing it. Going all the way to the bank. Because guess what they're doing? They're just filling out the paperwork for you because they know exactly what to say. Come on now. We got to do better. It's an easy fix. Get a group of folks, sit down, and figure out how to make it better. Not harder. Figure out why it's taking so damn long. And fix it. But that sounds too much like right. All right, you guys. 3 things that I always like to tell everyone before we end every single show. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you. You might as well enjoy it. Like this weekend, get out and do something fun for yourself for a change, right? Go grab some ice cream, shop local, go to the flea market, plant your garden, do whatever you want to do. Take a good long nap while Unsolved Mysteries is playing softly in the background. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This This broadcast brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Bernard, here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.